Have you ever wondered if life existed before Adam was created? Let's delve into the fascinating realm of jinns, entities crafted from the flame of fire, endowed with knowledge and the ability to distinguish right from wrong. Much like humans, jinns were commanded to fulfill certain duties, and they followed a specific divine law. Among them, there were those who believed and those who chose disbelief. Our journey takes us back to a time 40,000 years before the birth of Prophet Adam, when Jinn Samum was created. Jinn Samum, often referred to as the father of all jinns, was an extraordinary being, born from the flames of fire. He bore a wish that his kind could see all yet remain unseen, and that the jinns of his generation would possess eternal youth. And so, the wish was granted. The jinns were bestowed with the ability to witness every creature, yet remain invisible to others. Upon their demise, they would vanish into the earth, their elders dying young, returning to an age as tender as a child's. Then came the creation of Maria, the wife of Jinn Samum. From their union, a boy and a girl were born. As years passed, they too had children of their own, and the population of jinns began to swell, reaching close to 70,000. With a growing population came the need for order. Divine laws were imposed, and the jinns began to live in the form of families and tribes. They were then settled on the land, in the air and water, according to their ranks. For a long while they worshipped their Creator, living in harmony with the world around them. With the creation of Jinn Samum and his wife Maria, the jinn population began to grow, forming a world before Adam. This marked the dawn of a new era, a time when the jinns ruled, setting the stage for the world as we know it today. As the population of jinns grew, they started forming families and tribes, living in harmony under the rule of God. But as time passed, a wave of disobedience began to rise. The once peaceful jinns started to defy their creator, indulging in acts of violence and causing chaos on the land they inhabited. Amongst these rebellious jinns was a king named Yosef. Unlike his subjects, Yosef was a firm believer in divine authority and righteousness. Recognizing his faith, God appointed him as a prophet, entrusting him with the task of guiding the jinn community back to the path of obedience. However, Yosef's call for righteousness was met with hostility. The jinns, blinded by their arrogance, not only rejected his teachings, but also committed the heinous act of murdering their prophet. This act of defiance marked a turning point, pushing the jinns further into the abyss of disobedience. God, witnessing the downfall of his creation, decided to intervene. He summoned an army of angels from the second heaven, known as the Army of Giants. Leading this celestial battalion was Lucifer, commanding a force of 4,000 giants. Their mission was clear: to cleanse the earth of the disobedient jinns. The angelic forces descended upon the earth, clashing with the jinn rebellion. The battle was fierce, and the earth trembled under the might of the giants. Eventually the jinns were defeated, their power crushed under the divine strength of the angels. For their disobedience, the jinns were exiled from the earth, banished to the corners of the world, hidden from the sight of other creatures. This marked the end of their reign on earth, a reign that had been marred by disobedience and bloodshed. The jinns, once obedient, had now fallen into disobedience, leading to their exile from the earth. This was a stark reminder of the consequences of defiance, a lesson that would echo through the ages in the world before Adam. Even after the exile of jinns, God did not abandon them. Instead, he embarked on a mission to guide them back to the path of righteousness. Over the course of 800 years, a cycle of prophets was sent exclusively for the jinns. Among them were revered figures like Balika, Chalpanis, and Yan. These prophets were tasked with leading the jinns towards a life of obedience and worship. However, their messages were met with defiance and rebellion, leading to a dark period characterized by the martyrdom of these divine messengers. In all, more than 800 prophets were silenced by the very beings they were sent to guide. This escalating disobedience did not go unnoticed, and divine wrath descended upon the Jinn nation. God's punishment was swift and severe, resulting in the elimination of a significant portion of the Jinn population. A few obedient Jinn managed to survive this purge, retreating into the safety of caves, seas, and mountains. Their world, once characterized by freedom and abundance, had transformed into a desolate landscape of exile and survival. This is when Azazel enters our story. Azazel was chosen to lead an army against the Jinns. His mission was to banish the remaining disobedient Jinns from the face of the earth, and he executed it with precision. In the aftermath of his victorious campaign, Azazel made a unique request. He sought God's permission to remain on Earth, a request that was granted. Azazel's decision to stay was not one of conquest but of guardianship. He settled on Earth, and his progeny flourished. His devotion to worship was so profound that he was granted the privilege of venturing into the seven heavens. The Earth was now cleansed of the disobedient Jinns, leaving only a few survivors and Azazel. The stage was set for a new era, one that would eventually lead to the creation of mankind and the birth of Adam. But that's a tale for another time. In the aftermath of the battle, Azazel, now recognized as Lucifer, took it upon himself to unify the surviving Jinn tribes. His influence grew, and four significant tribes, Khan, Dam, Mumtaz, and Maramas, pledged their loyalty to him. Life moved on, and so did Lucifer. He found love in a girl from the Balujan tribe, a fellow Jinn tribe. They were blessed with a multitude of offspring, further solidifying his reign. The world was in a constant state of change, and another significant event was on the horizon. Amidst the rise of Lucifer and the Jinn tribes, God announced his intention to create a vicegerent on Earth, a human being named Adam. The birth of Adam marked a new beginning.